everyone, Emma here from Sport and Social Group headquarters, and we're going to take a few quick moments just to show you how to use your online profile with Sport and Social Club and how to use your staff tab as a part-time staff with us. So first what you're going to do is you're going to go to yourregion.sportsocial.club for whatever region you are working in. So for example, if you're working in Toronto, you're going to put in what I have here, toronto.sportsocial.club, or if you're working in Hamilton, you would put in hamilton.sportsocial.club. Once you've gone to your region site, then you will be able to log in. You can log in over here on the right-hand side. You do so by putting in your email address and then your password. If at any point you do forget your password, you can reset your password at any time there, or if you have any troubles logging in, you can let me know. The first time that you do work with us, you will need to create a profile. If you don't already have one, if you're currently a member playing in one of our leagues, you will already have a profile and can definitely use the same profile. So once you've created that profile and you've logged in, your profile will then look similar to this, where you have, your email address and your phone number, you have any registrations that you do if you currently play in any leagues, and then you will get this newly added staff tab. This is where you can find all of the information you need to know. If you are an EC with us, if you are a ref, whatever it may be, you can all access your shifts and all of the details in your staff tab. So once you have your staff tab and you've confirmed and accepted a shift with us, all of your shifts will appear here. This will include the shift time and date, as well as the end time and end date. So you can see exactly what time you are to arrive on site and what time your shift will end. You can also see exactly the location that your shift is. This is a blue hyperlink, as it does include lots of details on how to enter that particular facility. So if you were to click on that, you can see it will open up another tab which tells you the exact address. You can scroll down and see any details you need to know about where to park, how to enter, what's provided on site, any emergency details. So before your shift, please do review those for any new location that you are working. Even during the season, if you're working a regular shift in a particular location, you should review this quite often, as things often do get updated during the season. Additionally, here you have the option to do a green check mark. Once you've confirmed a regular shift with us, you should go through and click the green check mark for all the shifts that you are confirmed to make. The minimum requirement is that you do this noon the day before your shift and Thursday at noon for any weekend shifts that you have. I recommend that you do it at the beginning of the season for all the ones that you have confirmed, just so you don't have to do it again at any point. There is a red X here, and before you hit this red X, you do need to reach out to the staffing coordinator at the time, just to let them know that you can't make that shift. If you're not sure who to contact, please do reach out to the head office and we can set that up. Just making sure that you've let us know directly that you can't make a shift on a particular day. Sometimes people hit the X by accident, or it might not get through, it'll get lost in somebody's junk, and we just need to know exactly who can make their shifts. But you should always be confirmed to make all the shifts that you've confirmed to, unless you've let us know directly otherwise. Here's where you can view the schedule for your games for that particular shift. So for example, this shift has 4 games, and it's indoor gym facility. There's one game at 6, 7, 8, and 9. You can see exactly the start and end time. So even if a team arrives a little bit late and they get started late, they still need to finish by the time that ends. Here you can see exactly what league they're in. Sometimes you might have multiple skill levels or different pools. You can see all that information here. You can see here there's a C, that means this is all rec, and then you can see also the team matchup. So you can see the team name and you can see the first name of the captain itself too. This will really help when you do your mandatory captain meetings at the beginning of the game. So right before 6 o'clock, just saying, hey Jet, hey Samantha, can we just have a quick chat? We'll go over the rules, make sure everybody's listed on the roster, let them know you'll keep score, time if it's a single gym, court, or field, and just making sure everybody's clear before the games start. The team names are also hyperlinked, so that if you need to check out the rosters at any point to make sure that everyone is listed on the roster, you can do so and verify that yes, they do have 7 people on there, or I know they need to add a few more people. Just kind of helps as an extra layer in assisting members on site. At the bottom of the schedule, you can also see the print rules link. This is where you can access any of the rules for that particular game, so it'll let you know exactly the outlines for those games and make sure that you are reviewing those before you work a sport for the first time. Also, having a hard copy on site will really help in answering any members' questions along the way. All right. We do recommend that you print a hard copy of the schedule and the rules, or at least have accessible to you during your shift so that you can help answer members' questions as much as needed. Here's where the note section is, so if there are any notes, specific things that you need to know about that upcoming shift, we will put notes in there. Typically this will be the day before or the day of your shift, just as updates come in. So for example, if someone is suspended for a league, or there's a lost and found or special pickup, or a note about a team to know, that will all be included in there. And then the green plus sign will appear only when your shift is complete. So you can see the shift was actually last night, so the report is due. All shift reports are due within 24 hours. So please ensure that you are doing this on the way home from your shift or once you get home from your shift, just to ensure that we have that information in office the next day. Members will be reaching out to us at 9 a.m. in the morning, so it's really important that we have this information to go over with them. To submit your shift report, you just click on the green plus sign here. First question will be, did you ask every team if everyone playing has signed a waiver with us? This is really important for liability and risk reasons, just to ensure that everyone that is playing with us has signed a waiver. This is really easy to do in a single gym, single court, when you do that initial mandatory captain's meeting. If you are working a multi-facility, it's just important that you go around and check in with teams at any point during their game. This is a good chance to introduce yourself to teams, let them know who you are and where you'll be if they need any help, just as an extra touch point for them. But it's as simple as asking, hey, does everyone have a sports social club profile? Is everyone listed on your roster? Can everyone see the schedule? Once you've done so, you can click on the yes. This is a mandatory question, so you will need to answer yes or no, and if you don't click on anything, it will default to no. Anytime someone submits a no, we will follow up with you just to ensure that this is being done at each and every shift. Time changes, this is where you will note if anything drastically changed in shift time. So for example, if an ambulance is called during the last game and it takes a little while for the ambulance to get there and you end up staying later than your shift time, this is where you would let us know that that happened. Otherwise, there really shouldn't be any shift times as long as you arrived and left at the same time that your shift was assigned. There's nothing that really needs to be noted there, and you can click on the nothing to report. If there is something that needs to be noted, just writing it in the box, but knowing that if you do click this check mark, it will override anything that is written in that box. Incidents, this is where you can let us know any notes about a particular team or player. Say if a game had to be called early, or if there was a team playing overly aggressive, or you had to give a few reminders to a team, just letting us know that information there so that we can kind of keep track of that if we notice it's a reoccurring issue with a team or there's a team that really needs to be followed up with. That should all be noted there. Equipment, this is where you can note if there's anything that needs to be restocked on site or anything that needs to be replaced. This is really important that you kind of keep up to date just so we can ensure that everything is fully restocked and ready to go for the next time we're using that venue. May not necessarily be the next time you're at that venue, but we may be using it quite frequently, so it's really good for us to know right away. This is where you can list if you need any more first aid, so you can just leave it to the default supply is fine unless you need something for your personal first aid kit, or the venue kit on site needs some more ice packs or band-aids or anything like that, or if both need to be restocked, you can just select that from the drop-down menu there. Site issues, this is where you will note if there's anything that needs to be addressed with the venue. So for example, if the floor was really slippery, or if the rim was bent, or you had really trouble getting into the venue, anything like that, making sure that that's noted there. Here's where you can note any lost and found that's left behind. If there is an equipment bag on site and it's something like a water bottle or a sweater, you can just leave that in the equipment bag on site. Otherwise, if it's something important like keys, phone, wallet, we ask that you do keep that with you and let us know right away, as a member will typically be reaching out within 24 hours to get that back from you. Below is where you can list any injuries that happen. This won't come up until your shift has been completed, so it's really important that you keep this information top of mind should an injury occur. If an injury does occur, you can just click on whichever game it was from. So say for example it happened in the 8 p.m. game, you can click on here to report an injury. And here are some questions that it may ask. So for example, it may ask, who was the player that was injured? If they're not listed on the roster for any reason, just inputting that player's name still so that we are aware who was injured. Letting us know the time of the injury, so the game time or some time close to when the injury occurred, as well as the team name, the type of injury that occurred, and what venue you were at. You can also let us know how the injury occurred, so if they were playing and it was a 50-50 ball or something like that, just letting us know kind of what happened and giving us some backstory on what caused that injury. And then you just go through and you select the answers for the questions below. So was an ambulance called, yes or no? Use your best judgment with any of these. So if you think it may have involved the head, making sure you're clicking yes. When you're listing what first aid was given, just making sure you're putting in the box, if you gave out ice packs or Band-Aids or what kind of assistance was given on site. Here's where you can list any additional details, so anything else you think we should know, say it's a reoccurring injury or something like that, just letting us know as much detail as you may have learned on site. Once you send that report in, it will send a direct notification to our team here where you are following up with 100% of these that are submitted, so just making sure we have those right away. Below here is where you can let us know of any defaults that occur. So say for example, there's a team that's short male or short female. Just letting us know that right away, just because then we can maybe help that team find a few more players to get each game played. If one team shows up and they don't have any opponents to play against, that probably means they receive no notification. If both teams show up or don't show up, then we know that they gave notification to each other. We do try and let you guys know all the defaults that we hear about, but sometimes they may reach out to their opponents, but not necessarily to us. Scores here is where you can record any scores. This is mandatory for any single gym, single field, or single court shifts that you may be working. If you're working a multi-gym, multi-field, you're not required for submitting the scores here, but it is extremely helpful if you are taking the scores to record it here as well. All members are required to submit their own scores, but it is helpful for us to have a record of them, especially if you are already collecting those scores. The other section is where you can let us know anything else. So if you'd like to nominate a team or there's something else that occurred during your shift, you're not really sure where to include it, then you can include it in this bottom section. Once you're done with your shift report, you can hit submit in the bottom corner. Once you do so, you cannot make any changes to it. So if there's any additional information or things that you forgot to include, you will need to email us directly to let us know. And once you do submit that shift report, it will disappear from the tab here, just letting you know that it has been submitted. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to the staff management team to let us know, and we'll be sure to answer those questions for you. Thanks so much.